Hello again, and welcome back to another Books of the Week video feature. You guys have been doing a fantastic job on reading so far in 2021, and we are off to a great start. I want to remind you that whatever you choose to read, it's totally up to you, but make sure that you also log your reading in Beanstack, because we have our Winter Read Challenge going on just for the month of January. So I have some recommendations for you this week, and you can choose from those or so many of our other books or books that you own, but whatever you do, make sure you log them in Beanstack. With that said, my first recommendation this week is Out of My Mind. This is by Sharon Draper, who is one of the authors that we have the potential of possibly having a virtual visit from, depending on how well we do in this Beanstack challenge. And Out of My Mind is arguably one of her most popular or best books. We have a couple copies of this available, and essentially the story is that you have your main character who most people consider to be kind of just completely incapable because she was born with so many disabilities, and everyone just sort of assumes she also has intellectual disabilities. But in fact, she's pretty brilliant. And it's just that she has this cerebral palsy that inhibits her from really communicating. But then luckily she finds a device that actually lets her start talking for basically the first time ever. And it's a great story that I have had so many people tell me has been one of their all-time favorites. So Out of My Mind is a great one to check out. Look on Destiny Discover for a copy, or you can always look at the public library if you need a backup. Or get a physical copy for our next curbside pickup next week. The next selection is available as an ebook or audiobook, and it is called All the Impossible Things. This is a Black Eyed Susan nominee this year, so if you are enrolled in that challenge on Beanstack, you can also check this off your list if you read or listen to this book. And this one was one of my personal favorites from the Black Eyed Susan nominees this year. Ruby, who most people consider or just call Red, she is a foster kid who is going through quite a lot of emotional issues, of course, because she's been taken away from her mom and is in foster care. And she goes to live with the Grooves, who own this petting zoo with all sorts of crazy animals like a giant tortoise and a donkey. And she's trying to adjust, but really misses her mom and has a hard time with her emotions. And sometimes when her emotions get the best of her, the wind very literally picks up. And she has to learn to kind of keep things in check and keep things that are impossible possible. So it's a really fantastic story. I definitely think you should check it out. Again, we have the audiobook version or ebook. And then finally, we have March Forward Girl. And it has been a while since we featured a nonfiction book, so I wanted to highlight this biography. It's actually pretty much like a memoir and memory of someone who was part of the Little Rock Nine, and their memories from that time and living in the South with all of that going on. And I know that we're not quite in February for African American History Month, but this is a great book no matter what. And March Forward Girl is just an incredible read. It doesn't even really feel like you're reading a biography like you might be used to from classes, because it's such an engaging story that will just give you such insight into history and how things were, and you can compare to your current world, and it's a fantastic read, and I definitely think it's worth checking out. We have this as an ebook on Destiny Discover. So thank you guys so much. I hope that you keep reading whatever you want to read. And please remember, log in Beanstack, because we have our Books Like Us #WinterRead 2021 challenge going on right now. And we're doing a fantastic job, but we have a little bit further to go to make sure we reach our goal of 50,000 minutes as a school by the end of the month. So keep it up and keep reading, Henson Huskies.